Hi, welcome to Art Horse, a silly and serious podcast about creativity and stepping outside of your comfort zone.
I'm Jess, and I'm an artist.
And I'm Fiona, an artist wannabe.
In our very first episode, we talk about how we got here, tricking yourself out of a creative block, and doing bad art.
If you're churning out masterpieces on the daily, or if you're secretly envious of those who do, this podcast is for you. Heads up about the audio. Jess was calling in from a tin can telephone.
Well, here it is.
Art horse, art horse, art horse, art horse, art too cheap to buy jingles. Art horse, art horse, art too cheap to buy jingles. Hey, so this is it. Horse, art.
Why? You might think this is interesting.
Yeah, so let's start with that.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
I'm just imagining that, I'm on stage and there's a bunch of people that don't know me, basically, and they're all in their underwear, and I just need to tell them who I am.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Fiona. I am really interested in art, but I don't exactly consider myself an artist. I'm 30 years old, and I've basically been in university, in some sort of school my whole life. And I feel like it hasn't exactly led me down the path that I hoped it would.
Mm.
And I'm trying to get more in touch with my creative side, I guess. A fun fact about me is that I'm almost pathologically obsessed with rabbits. And yeah, that's fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had this idea about a week ago to rope my friend Jess into a podcast about art because she so kindly sent me a book in the mail called The Artist's Way, and it got me all jazzed about starting to do art again. Yeah, and so we thought we would start with just talking about what we kind of wanted to do with this podcast. So I just want to say up front that this isn't an art history podcast or a contemporary art podcast. We're not going to talk about Monet and stuff. We're going to talk about the actual process of doing art as a normal person who just wants to experience more creativity in their lives. We basically, I think our philosophy is kind of art is and should be for everyone.
Mm.
And yeah, we're both trying to find ways to fit it into our regular lives and what that looks like for each of us. And so that's why that was the idea that we sort of came up with for this podcast. I basically think art isn't just for special people who have been born with some innate talent. It's for everyone. And I also want to inspire myself to do more art because I want to so badly and I never do it.
Mm.
And so I'm trying to figure out what's stopping me from that. So it's hopefully going to be some sort of a process for me. And then, yeah, I also just Jess, I find you super inspiring as an artist, and I wanted to glean, I don't know, wisdom and insight from you. So those are my reasons for doing it.
That's so wonderful. That was a beautiful thing. I feel I just want to can I just listen to you talk? I feel
no.
You, I don't know. It seems like you have a way of expressing yourself in words that yeah.
Thanks, bitch.
So I'm Jess, and I feel these intro things are really hard because I feel you kind of have to know who you are before you introduce yourself.
Too real.
Yeah, I know. I feel I don't super know that. I feel so I've been in school a lot of my adult life too, and coming back to creativity was a big leap of faith to me. It sort of happened in an interesting moment where I got laid off from my programming job, and I also got my partner and I got evicted from our apartment, and so we just thought we've always wanted to.
Oh my god.
No, okay,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so laid off, evicted, decided that we had always wanted to travel the world, or I had always felt my life was supposed to be more exciting. Like every day I'm sitting at my desk thinking like, seriously, like there's got to be more than this. Like I like,
oh my God.
I feel like I was meant for such, like, I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't using my skills, like the skills that are like inside me.
I feel like you wanted to say greatness there and you didn't say it.
I know, because then I reconsidered. I actually, well, I feel like I didn't want to say I was meant for great things because that sounds really weird, but I think like the
meant
life
for something else.
But I mean like the life that I had always looked forward to in my youth that was like full of possibility and excitement and adventure and connection and fun, like I wasn't living it. Like I was going to work, I was sitting at my desk, I was like eating the office snacks, and then I was like going home. And my back was like so sore all the time. Like I had sciatica really bad. I could hardly walk. Like it was literally like killing me. It was ruining my life. And so getting laid off was kind of like a ticket of freedom away from that. And I decided because I kind of did decide. Like Greg wasn't super maybe on board, but he was kind of entertaining the idea. But we bought a one-way ticket out of the country and we started traveling, and I decided like after a month in, like, oh, like I haven't actually, I'm still here. Like I haven't taken a vacation for myself. Like I thought this would like solve everything, but I'm still here. I'm
wherever
happy.
You go, there you are.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was a very tragic realization. So what I started to do was like I picked up some watercolor pencils, and I was thinking like I might send a postcard home, and then I tried to like draw a postcard. So what I'm trying to say is I started totally on a whim. I decided I would draw a bird every day for I didn't know how long, some indeterminate length of time. And so as of today, I have been drawing a bird for I think 956 days, like in a row, which is the longest amount of time
That's so stupid. I mean, stupid. Stupid as in like crazy.
I know. Like I think maybe the reason I haven't stopped is because I sort of can't stop now. Like I can't like break that streak, but I'm going to stop at 1,000. So that's going to be the start of a new creative journey. But like all of this stuff led me back to myself in a way. Like I've had a huge long process of like more than 2 years of trying to untangle the life that I was living for other people and come back to using my strengths in the strongest, most true way, I guess. So
totally.
Creativity has been a huge journey for me, and I'm really excited to talk with you about it because I feel like these vulnerable conversations, and I'm like learning so much from The Artist's Way. It's like insane. Like every week is like a real punch in the face.
Cool. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Like I feel like you're so much further ahead on, I guess, I mean, I really hate the word journey, but I'm going to say on your creative journey. And it's like, it's really inspiring to see like somebody who has gone from being so unhappy to, I mean, you're not like enlightened now. I'm not, you know what I mean? But
and
like,
I'm not unhappy, you know? Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah. But like you have made really important strides, I think, towards where you want to be. I just think it's going to be a really interesting conversation between you and I, because like we're so similar in a lot of ways. Like we're really, really like not over analytical about ourselves, but like we really like to understand what's going on in our heads, you know?
Like I feel like we've both done a lot of personal work about like depression and stuff. And
exactly. So like we both have a lot of similarities to our trajectories, I think, but like I'm in this there we go.
There's a really weird bird on the roof. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Just had to get a closer look. Okay.
Oh, cool. What kind of bird is it?
I don't know. It's black and shiny.
Oh. So yeah, just to like go back to what I was saying right at the very beginning, like I want to do more art. Like I gotta do something. Like I feel like I've expressed this to you before, Jess, but like I feel so lost in life.
Okay, I hear you feeling lost. I see the bird. He came over to me.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I don't... Oh.
What is it?
I wish I could take a picture. I could take a picture. Can I take a picture when the voice recorder is on? Probably not.
I think you can.
Can I? I think it's a cowbird.
Are you serious? I'm just Googling a cowbird. Brown-headed cowbird?
It's got a brown head.
Holy beautiful. Oh my god.
So shiny, right?
It's like blue on the side.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I interrupted you at a very poignant moment. Very interesting things are about to happen.
What was I saying?
You said, I know I've expressed this before. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like really lost in my life and at a point where I need to make some decisions about what my next couple of years are going to look like. And basically, so just to be... I just graduated from law school, and because of depression and other mental health issues, it lasted really long. Like, it took me 4.5 years to complete, and it was in a lot of ways like a really rewarding time, but in a lot of other ways it was really fucking difficult, and it was like downright miserable sometimes. And a lot of people, when they talk about law school, they're just like, oh yeah, well, that's just what you got to do, and you get through it, and then you're a lawyer and you make $1 million. And it's like, okay, but I don't want to sacrifice any more of my life like that, So yeah, I think that one of the ways that I got to figure out what I'm doing and where I'm going is to get back in touch with the creative side of me. And so I'm going to talk about my creative goals.
Okay.
Which, Jess, I recently told you, but it's been something I've been thinking about for a long time. Actually, it's 2 things.
I'm so excited.
So the 2 things that I really want to do are projects that I actually am like, I feel like I'm standing on a springboard, and I'm just like, jump into the fucking pool, but I just haven't done it yet. I want to write 5 minutes. Oh,
nothing. It's nothing.
it's like a construction site over there.
It friggin' is.
So I want to write 5 minutes of stand-up comedy because I fucking love stand-up comedy, and not that I fancy myself the most hilarious person I've ever met, but I just think it would be a really interesting creative experience to try to write something that's like funny on purpose.
Right.
So that's what I want to do. Like with this book especially that you sent me, I want to like go through it with that in mind, and just like, yeah, like especially with the morning pages and everything, see if they can like dredge up some material or something.
Yeah, like I think the reason I sent you that book was partly because I see what's like locked up in there for you. Like, I can like see from the outside, like you really want to do this thing, and I think you'd be really good at it. But there's like some sort of barriers to believing you can do it, or barriers to like thinking you deserve to do it, or like seeing.
Yeah. So I really want to do that. Sometime within the next 3 to 4 months. Ooh, I just put a timeline on myself and I don't like it. I just gave myself a deadline.
You did.
And I reject it wholeheartedly. No, I should keep it.
I think, you know what? I think once you start breaking down the blocks, it's just going to start to happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I really want to do is like making videos. Like I just got a new phone, and so it's no longer a potato. And I want to make little, maybe 10-minute, not short films, but like video essays maybe, about whatever I feel like. And that's been something I've wanted to do for like years, but I have never done it because I'm like, oh, people will think I'm a narcissist or something. So I'm going to try to like use this podcast and use this book to like figure out why I feel like I can't do anything that people will see.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was a really heavy line.
Whoa, yeah.
I feel like I have to chew on that for a second.
Me too. I feel like it just, yeah. And like, I think, honestly, like, not to get meta, but like the podcast is part of this. Like, I never before would have been like, oh yeah, let's do a podcast and let's put it online for people. Like, it's like the audacity to think that anyone would listen to what I have to say for like 20 minutes or whatever. Like, I would never have done that before, you know, like a year ago.
Right.
So I feel like I'm going in the right direction. It feels really good.
That's amazing.
Thanks. What about your projects?
Well, so one of the things in the artist way that she says is going to happen is like once you start opening yourself up to stuff, like once you start breaking down these sort of barriers to your creativity, quote unquote synchronicity starts to happen. So like opportunities start to come to you and ideas and all of this stuff, and you know how to let them in almost. It's like you're becoming more in touch with like your interests and all of that stuff. And so I've definitely been feeling that happening. And I think I've found like with the morning pages, like 7 weeks of morning pages, that's like more than 130 pages of long handwritten thing. And so I guess that maybe I should say for anybody who hasn't done the artist way, morning pages are like, you have to do them every morning. It's 3 one-sided 8.5 by 11 pages. And you just write whatever comes to your mind. So if you're thinking like, I have nothing to write today, or if you're thinking like, fuck, you just write that. Like, you know? My dad is approaching me with a hair elastic and a clothespin.
He's gonna hang you up.
He might. I don't really know what his plan is. Maybe he's gonna get to me. Okay,
Thanks,
sorry.
Dad.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so yeah, morning pages are like 3 longhand pages of whatever you want. It's like to dump out all of the stuff that's like going on in your brain in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I think like a lot of stuff that you would maybe usually avoid just comes up, like any fights you're having with your partner, anything like you feel that you have a big yearning towards, like all of that stuff starts to come up. And so I feel like I've been having a lot of access, like a lot more access to good ideas almost.
Wait, so do you read yours back?
No.
Okay, because you're not supposed to, right?
No, right. Okay. But I feel like I'll be writing and I'll be just so on fire for something. And it's a little bit discouraging because first of all, you don't have time to do everything you're excited about. And also, not everything that you're excited about is a good idea. And I'm having a really...
Story of my life. Jesus.
I'm just having such a hard time just like seeing. I'm having a hard time seeing which are good ideas that are good enough to like move forward with. Mm-hmm. And so that's my challenge right now. But the projects that are like my creative projects, I think, are in about 50 days will be like I'll have drawn 1,000 birds for 1,000 days in a row.
That's so amazing.
It's something. But I think like there's this thing of like it just became a thing that was non-negotiable somehow. Mm-hmm. And like so I've done it every day. Like no matter if I was too drunk, if I was too tired, like if I was on a plane for 24 hours, like I did it anyway, somehow, every day, for 950 days. Which I feel like is interesting, and I feel like it's maybe a skill. Like, it's taught me a lot.
Yeah, so, like, I think about that a lot. Like, I think about what you do, and I'm like, you know what? I would fucking love to take on a project like that and just see... Not exactly see if I could do it, because, like, the whole premise of the thing is not to try, but to do, right?
Whoa, yeah.
Right? Like, it's like Yoda says, there is no try, there is only do. Or, wait, is that what he says?
I feel like he probably
That's not Yoda. Wait, who was that?
Was it Wayne Gretzky?
There is no try, there is only do. It is Yoda, okay.
Yeah.
But I said it wrong. It's do or not do, there is no try.
Okay, that's quite like, concise. That's more Yoda's thing. Okay.
So that's exactly like what I like about it is it's not like, oh, I'm going to see how long I can do this for, or, oh, I'm going to like try really hard to do this every day. It's like, there's almost, it's just like, you just do it.
That's so true. And you do it even if it sucks. You do
even
it like,
if it sucks.
Man, for the first like month, I was posting on my own travel, it was a travel Instagram because I was traveling and I was taking pictures, but it was my own personal Instagram. And then after a month, I moved it to its own Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But every day was just like, I had to tell myself that not every bird is going to be a good bird. You know, like they're not all going to be good.
Yeah.
And also there's this other weird part, which is like, I'm not always super in touch with what people think is good or bad. Like things that I've hated, people have really liked.
Oh, really?
And things that I've really liked, nobody gives a shit about. So, like, I think it's really a reality check on your ability to see yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Yeah, so like I was thinking of giving myself some sort of similar project, and I think what's really attractive about it to me is like it seems like a really good way to take on the practice of doing something poorly. And I don't mean to say that you do it poorly, but like you know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
rude, first of all.
I mean, like, I would do it poorly, right? Like, at least at the very beginning, or like, for who knows how long, is like, some things that I make would be shit. And I have such a, like, I think that's my windmill or whatever. It's like, I have such a fear of doing things poorly. So it's like the whole perfectionism thing. Like, I feel like it's such a great way to practice rejecting the perfectionist in you. And so I've been like, ooh, I would love to do like, sketch something every day or whatever, draw a rabbit every day, which I probably could. But like, but then there's this other like, so the thing that like, not scares me about it, but makes me think that like, maybe I shouldn't do it is like, I talk to my therapist a lot about flexibility.
Like rules, like rejecting rigidity.
Like rejecting rigidity and like having rules that you can't break, and if you break them, the world is gonna end, or everyone's gonna hate you, or you're gonna die. Like that's the kind of like thinking that my brain does. Yeah, totally catastrophizing. And so like I am like really hesitant to like give myself a project like that is like by definition so inflexible.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think both of us, I think maybe you have a deeper, more difficult relationship with this, but we both kind of struggle with sort of the idea of rules around food.
Yeah.
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 But like I remember, and I feel like I don't want to talk about this if this is something that you don't want to touch on at all, but like for me, like there's been times like when my mom is on some sort of diet and then she's like, okay, let's give up bread. And then I like give up bread, and then the next day I literally want to like kill everybody. Like not as a joke, like I'm planning. Like, like, and it's like, it's not like I'm angry, but I'm also like rebelling on the inside, like, you can't tell me what to do, and like it's like this control thing. But like that being said, I don't feel that about art. Like I feel that so strongly about food and food restrictions, but I don't feel the same about art. But that tells me like that very thing tells me like you could probably feel about anything, and that everybody is different. So it's possible that you could feel that about creative restrictions, but also I will say that creativity totally friggin' thrives under limitations.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. Oh, and by the way, I don't care about, like, I'm probably going to talk about having an eating disorder and having, like, issues with food, just because it is so...
Like, big right now in your life.
It's so big in my life right now, and I feel like it has a lot to do with the parts of me that have to do also with creativity. So I think it's, like, a really interesting connection. But,
okay.
Yeah, so don't worry about that.
Cool.
But I was going to say, like, I need... limitations and restrictions of some sort in order to break down this perfectionism thing, but not have them be so tight that they cause me genuine mental distress, right? Yeah. Like, there's a line there somewhere, and I gotta find it, and it's like, it's complicated.
Yeah, totally. I maybe advise this particular thing for everybody, like like making something every day. But I think there's certain limitations that it does give you, like if you have to find a place in your day to do it, and maybe that day you only have a few minutes. And so like, say if you're like, okay, I'm gonna make a short video every day. Today I only have like an hour, and so maybe you would spend the first little bit sketching out ideas, and then maybe your restriction would be like, okay, I don't have time to edit this, so this video is going to be 10 seconds long, it's going to be me farting, and then I'm just going to put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, so it kind of, I don't know, I think something you were saying before reminded me that, like, of something that I learned, which is everything you do is like practice, and everything you do leads to something else too. Like, nothing you do is the big grand like
finale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's no grand finale. It's like every day is like dress rehearsal. Every day.
So the thing that just occurred to me was, like, you are doing a bird every day, but you also have like an Instagram where people see what you've done. Whereas with me, like, obviously I don't have that. And if I did a project like this, I probably also wouldn't put it online. Like, I would just do it for myself. And so I feel like that would do a lot to reduce the fear of perfectionism. Because, like, if nobody's going to see it, then, like, and I just, I want to draw a rabbit every day, I can just literally draw the exact same rabbit for 50 days if that's all I can do,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something I could think about, is what sort of like restrictions and like constraints could I give myself to sort of like, I think that's why I wrote in our notes, how to trick yourself into doing art. Because that's what I was thinking about. It's like, I almost have to trick myself. And that's why I really like the morning pages. Jess is on week 7. I'm only on week 1. So I've only done the morning pages. I think it's been like 6 days now. And what I really like about it is you're really not supposed to think before you write.
Yeah.
You literally just put your pencil to the paper, and whatever comes out, comes out. So, like, I do feel like the rule, don't think before you write, is a good way to trick myself into just writing.
Right, like you have a rule. I like that.
Yeah. So, like, a rule, like, it's tricky with me and rules, but, like...
That's a good rule, it turns out.
It's a good rule. It seems like it could really work and really help me. And so, like, I do want to figure out what are the rules that I could give myself around art for, like, say, the next month or something that would trick me into, like, just doing it,
Yeah, and I think once you start, like, you begin to prove to yourself a lot of things about yourself, like, you're like, oh, I can actually do hard things, or like there actually is a little bit of time in every single day where I can set aside for myself, like stuff maybe you don't believe at the beginning.
Yeah, there definitely is time in my day. I spend like at least an hour on Reddit every day. Like, I don't need to do that. I really don't.
I feel like you asked me a question and I never answered it.
Oh no. What did I ask you?
I think you said, because we were talking about creativity, and you said, what are your projects?
Oh.
And my project
Right, that's right.
So, circling back, because my morning pages have flooded with huge ideas, I feel like I'm ready. I've been kind of sitting on this book proposal for a while. Like a year, more than less than a year, 8 months, and I haven't written it. And I think coming to the end of 1,000 Birds, I am excited to turn it into some sort of memoir of like a turning point, like a creative rediscovery and life realignment, sort of. So
wait, have you written the proposal but not the book, or you haven't written the proposal?
I haven't written the proposal because I haven't been able to visualize a book that I would care enough about to write. Like, yeah. I don't want to just end up in the comic section, because I do. So I draw a bird every day, but a lot of them are comics. But not all of them are comics. Like, a lot of them are illustrations or just whatever. Or I did a lot of writing for a big period. Like, when I lived in a really shitty apartment, everyone knows about my landlord, everyone knows about all my neighbors, everyone knows about all my depression. So there's like a lot of writing in there. That people
curse on his house.
I know. I spit in his name. A curse on his house. And I'm dead.
On his literal house,
On
like his actual house.
His actual house, the one that he actually lives in.
Yeah, I hope that his toilet backs up.
Yeah, oh god, me too, every day. Every day. I hope there's snakes in it. Okay, sorry. That was a period of...
My aunt did have snakes in her toilet, did I tell you that?
So you're saying it's possible?
It is totally possible. In Toronto, people buy pet snakes and then they don't want them anymore and they flush them down the toilet and then they get into the sewer system and they come up other people's toilets.
I thought that was a myth.
No, it happened to my aunt. She had 2 snakes. One came out of the toilet and one was in the washing machine. I shit you not.
That's
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know.
Did she wash
Horrifying.
her clothes with the snake?
I don't know.
I can't believe you didn't get more details.
It was so long ago. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That's awful.
We weren't. Oh yeah. So you were saying there was a period where you're doing a lot of writing.
Yeah, and so like if I could smush this all into like a book that is like an extended version of a bird strip that like tells a bit about a journey from like not really living. I hate saying this. Not really living your truth. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. But okay, so not really living like the life you're supposed to be living. And I hate that too because it implies that there's somebody out there making a plan for you, which I do not believe. But like this life that like
your best life. I also hate that, but
yeah,
sometimes it expresses the right thing.
Yeah, I guess like the life that you are the most well suited for. Mm-hmm. That's a very roundabout way of saying your best life.
Yeah,
I see why they don't say that. It's not as catchy. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about doing something different after 1,000 days. And actually, like, I haven't had a vacation in a really long time, or a day off.
You did a bird on Christmases.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. I mean,
Christmas, New Year's, birthday, weddings.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's gonna be so strange.
I know. Stop. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it. So I also wonder, like, what it's going to be like to carry on this new sort of creative life after my creative constraint is gone.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I think, like, okay, cool, I can, like, spend more time on ideas. But then it comes back to that thing of, like, how do you know an idea is good enough? Mm-hmm. So that's hard. I feel like I'm going to go through a whole other journey soon, but I also feel like I'm ready for it.
Mm-hmm. What we should do is have, like, it's not a video. I was going to say... We should have, like, a counter of how many times we say the word journey.
Tell me I didn't
just
say
to
journey.
Shame ourselves. You did say journey, but God. So did I, and that's okay.
Yeah. Damn.
Are you highlighting the creativity buddy thing on purpose?
I just like to highlight stuff when I read it.
Okay.
But we haven't talked about that also.
No. So we had this idea of, like, talking about the benefits of having a creativity buddy, because, like, or I guess, like, more broadly, like, creativity and friendship, and, like, how helpful it can be to have somebody that you can talk to about this stuff. Because, like, before I met you, I didn't talk to anyone about creativity or art or the things that I wanted to do that were creative. Like, my other friends are... Like, they're creative people and they're artistic. Like, Lisa's an amazing photographer, and, like, my friend Nicola paints all the time. But we just haven't, like, gotten into the weeds about this stuff. And, like, it makes you so... Like, I have been realizing that talking to somebody about art, it's, like, immediately your best friends. Right? Like, it's so vulnerable. Mm-hmm. But it's so inspiring, and, like, I feel like I have been so, like, enriched by it. Yeah, I don't know what else I wanted to say about that. Just that, like, so far it's been really helpful and, like, really inspiring. And if anyone out there is listening and you're like, you know what, I feel like I want to do more art. Like, there's a little artist inside of me who I've been sort of neglecting. Try to, like, find somebody in your life that you can talk to about it. And they might say the same thing, or they might... You know, maybe they don't feel the same way, but they would be somebody who could be, like, a cheerleader or something, or somebody that you could show your work to, who will not criticize it, but just, like, you know, pump you up about it.
Yeah, like, I think it is really helpful to find that person that just lifts you up and doesn't go like, oh, that would have been better if you did like this other thing. Because I feel like sometimes when you have this very precious, like vulnerable little seedling of an idea or a dream, like someone can just like come around and squash it so easily.
Yes.
And it can
my God.
all of the air out of your little balloon and make you think that you can't do anything, but it's really
exactly
like that sucks so bad. And then it makes you more careful and scared about like who you share yourself with.
Yeah, that's true. So choose wisely, I guess.
Yeah.
Choose your buddy wisely.
Yeah. So I'm definitely finding like through the artist way that a lot of stuff I'm realizing that like there's a lot of things that I've been trying to change on the surface for a really long time. And actually what needs to happen is it needs to like come from inside. Like you can't just like, it's kind of like chicken and egg, like does drawing a bird every day like change how you feel about yourself? Like maybe, but also I think like changing how you feel about yourself makes more things possible for you. And I feel like this book has been like, it's made me like, I've been kind of calling myself an artist and believing that I'm like capable of big things lately. And I feel like, I know, it's
exciting.
It feels like it's...
That's how I feel. Yeah. I feel really excited. Like even sort of, you know, coming to the end of our first episode, I feel really like this in itself is a creative project that that is gonna really do something for us.
Yeah. I think it's really cool to like something that I love is having vulnerable conversations about growth. Like I just love growing and I love learning and I love like kind of realizing that you're not alone. And I feel like, I don't know, it's almost like that thing about shame where like when you shine a light on it, it like scurries into the dark.
Like a little rat.
Like it goes away. Yeah. Yeah. The shame rat.
Oh, poor guy.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited to keep talking.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
Shall we be done?
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for making it to the end of our very first episode.
We're going to release new episodes every Tuesday, and we've planned a lot of, frankly, fascinating discussions about things like art and money, art fear, inspiration, imposter syndrome, yada, yada, yada.
If you do something creative this week, show and tell us at arthorsepod on Instagram or arthorsepod@gmail.com. See ya!
So let's just do the clap, and then we can, like, prepare the intro.
Like another time?
Oh, yeah, like another time, but then we'll just, like...
stick it in.
Don't say stick it in like that.
Okay. You can hear the dog licking his butt, like...
No, I can't.
Okay, good.
When anybody walks on the floor above me, the light rattles, like, really loudly. It goes like ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and then with its little mouth it says that. And then and yeah, the Washington machine is on, so hopefully this works.